role na naman, a bruiser type. But James has been seen on an Italy, so they might be prioritizing this one. Although, I'm afraid ko ano yung pwedeng ibigay na naman ulit kay Yume, because I really think Yume is the key for winning. Because normally, Yume does snowball during the mid-game, on towards the late. And that's what makes Mineski work. Lalo na yung double TP play, that they're very, very fond of that. Lalo na, most of the time I've seen them on blue side na ganon yung playstyle nila. But then Cerberus Esports, I'm thinking different draft naman yung gagawin nila. They're on red side. Wala na yung Braum for Shadow. So, let's see kung ano yung ipipick nila dito. Rek'Sai, very, very good early game pressure if they do pick this up, and looks like they have prioritized James' pick. Echo is still open though, but then again, Yux has been that top laner that has been playing these unusual, not really unusual, but really meta picks, but not quite picked up by other players just yet.
But you were talking about the Rek'Sai though. Trevor locks in an Elise.
Well, it does suit him well. Of course, you wouldn't wanna do the same comp again. I mean, if you put the Graves, that means you have Marky, Trevor on the power threats in terms of team dynamics. So
Yume though.
Again,
well, it can go for TG.
It can go to TG, yeah. And Noel actually picks a very, very risky Bard. Because the thing with Bard is that you'd want to roam with your jungler to make the Bard to actually maximize the utility of a Bard. So Zensha would most likely be on a safe champion. I would definitely not recommend Ezreal again because of the poor wave clear. Mabubuli out lang siya ng Lucian, and considering the fact that lane swaps are not as popular as before, because that would mean you giving up dragon control early on to the game. First dragon is very, very important no matter what dragon you have. And yeah, Zensha, Caitlyn is open, although I'm not sure if Zensha is comfortable playing that. Yung tipong pwede mong iwan sa lane. Sivir is actually open as well. They can opt for that. But since, it's a takeaway, because kanina si Noel
Draven. Zensha does play a Draven, so they're gonna go back to what they play
but
the best with.
way back.
I think that's too many ways, but yeah.
Yeah, you get the picture. But Mineski obviously are not afraid to experiment. Kanina pa sila ganito. The Lulu pick actually made a statement already, so that's gonna be another top lane TG again with Yume. Again on the Vladimir, you're really pushing through this comp with just a different kind of strategy with with a Nidalee pick naman, which is more stable compared to a Lulu.
Yeah.
Most definitely. You have sustain, and I guess Draven very susceptible, definitely. Without that movement speed, if that's out, and if Bard would go around, it's gonna be difficult for Zensho kasi vulnerable siya sa Nami. Most definitely, pati ganks coming in from Trevor. So the chain of CCs, they are capable of making the picks, and the damage is just scary. The AD damage coming in from Cerberus Esports is scary.
Look at this though, double AD composition from Cerberus. The mid lane Varus and a bottom lane Lucian here.
Yeah, I like the pick of Mineski because of the pull coming in from Varus. Most likely they want sustain. So that's what the Nidalee does for you, and that's what the Bard does for you. And they have a mode of disengage or a mode of engage naman with the use of the Bard. But then it's very, very situational. As I've said, every time someone picks Bard, it's parang high risk, high reward. Because if those tempered fates do not work out well for you, if you do not land it the way you intended it to be, it's just gonna be a wasted pick for you. Kasi you'd wanna maximize the utility the Bard has, especially the mere fact na madali siya mag-roam alongside with the jungler, with James and then Noel. I actually have zero knowledge of the synergy between James and Noel, because Zensho and Noel, they don't match so far as we've seen. Parang Zensho is the aggressive type, and meanwhile Noel is like the reactive type of support, where hindi siya gagawa ng play, pero he's there rather to react and defend the AD carry.
Okay, true that. Now I'm very curious as to how a Draven with a Bard actually plays out against a Lucian Nami. I mean, he has both of them have sustains, but then what happens when you connect the Cosmic Binding and then just go for the auto attacks with the Draven? I mean, it's very risky to actually give the Draven a first blood because of the stacks of adoration. That's gonna be a lot of money, immediately being given onto a Draven if you do let them. But again, we're just gonna have to see how Mineski play this out, if they're gonna be aggressive or will they allow Cerberus to be, how they were doing a while ago, which was, keep before with the Braum onto Shadow, keep connecting the
bubbles.
Yeah, concussive blows.
Concussive blows.
Yeah, stuns, but then Shadow for now in terms of CC will have the bubbles. So we'll see if he's gonna connect that, and Marky following up. What is the answer of Mineski in the bottom lane?
Yep. And another potential outplay. Every time there's a Vladimir, it's just a matter of timing. Yume is a passive mid laner, of course, very effective when team fight comes, or for example when he wears a teleport, he's always there for the response. He's practically just gonna farm. I'm really worried about this Vladimir pick, kasi you would normally rely on snowballing and creating fights that Cerberus doesn't want, and you try to maximize the Hemo Plague, of course, with the AoE and everything else. And TG, again, they might use the same strategy, although it's gonna be a Maokai this time that's gonna be shredded down by TG with the Subjugate on his ultimate there. So definitely the strategy of Cerberus is gonna change dramatically compared to before, where their power threat is on Yux. Right now, Yux is not the power threat here. It's Chalk, Marky, and Trebor, potentially Trebor, if he does the early ganks and if the kills land onto him, he's gonna probably most likely like snowball early to mid if the kills go to him. So I'm thinking they might go for a more different strategy na dito sa dragon. They're more dragon control kasi kanina wala silang dragon control. They actually gave up 2 dragons. Hindi. Almost gave up 2 dragons. But then if you think about it, kung sinabi ni Shadow na TG yon, Trundle yon, madali siyang i-gank, they might go for the same strategy, because Maokai, easy twisted advance, then you connect it with the cocoon, the chain of skills. For example, Trevor already completes his jungle item, or pag may red buff niya, after niya i-rotate yung blue to red, and then gank ka kay TG first or early on kasi yun nga, vulnerable siya. They might go for that same strategy again, and then just snowball again. Chalk just have to scale with yung mana muna niya, stack niya, di ba?
Yeah. Alright, so let's go into the Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 2 in this best of 2 series between Smart Mineski versus Cerberus Esports. This is the last game for Cerberus Esports. If they do win it out, they will advance and go against Asian Arena. Now, Smart Mineski looks, of course, for they 1-for-1 so that they can fight for a Game 3. So in the blue team, we'll have TG in the top lane with that Trundle. In the jungle, it's going to be James. On the Nidalee mid lane, Yume will be our Vladimir. And in the bottom lane duo, shall be Zensho with the Draven, and his support will be Noelle on the Bard.
Yes, meanwhile, on the red side, we have Cerberus Esports. In the top lane, we have Yux with the Maokai. In the jungle, we have Trevor with the Elise. In the mid lane, we have Chalk with the Varus. And for the AD carry position, we have Marky with the Lucian. And for the support, we have Shadow on the Nami.
Noelle forgot to buy items.
Oh, look at that skin!
Wait, for Noelle?
It's the Monster Hunter skin, I believe. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you're talking about
Draven.
Zensho. Okay.
The Draven.
Yeah, okay. I was like, okay.
The Monster Hunter skin.
Yeah,
what are
it
these
is.
called again? The Beastmaster, was it?
Beastmaster, I think.
Yeah. The Beastmaster series. I think it was Sejuani, Draven, and there's another one. I just forgot. But yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen this skin.
Yeah, it's not bad. Looks pretty nice.
Yep, not bad at all.
Yeah,
So,
but I still prefer the Soul Reaver one.
oh yeah, most definitely. The effects are better to look at actually. So just as I've said earlier, if Elise does start blue side, I don't think Mineski knows Elise is gonna start at this side. They can actually I imagine Trevor after making like all the rotations on the buffs, immediately niya baka 8 gank niya si TG kasi gaya ng sinabi kanina ni Shadow, TG on a trundle, a very very vulnerable target. Hindi sila nagkukulang sa CC with an early Elise, hindi sila magkukulang sa damage. So they might actually either get a kill or probably burn a flash. So they know.
Well, here looks the steal. Will not happen though.
Yeah, looks like they know kung saan yung start. So most definitely, mamaya pa magpe-place ng ward tong si TG in the top lane.
Yeah. Trevor doesn't actually need to go for a blue buff just yet. He's not pressured to go for that camp immediately. He can get the wolves and then possibly the red buff here.
Okay.
Yeah, he has plenty of mana for that one. Bottom lane, looking at it, Marky, as well as Zensho.
Yeah.
Well, we still have to see how they're actually going to trade. I'm very curious about this one. I have not seen a Draven in about forever.
Yeah, with the rotations of Nidalee actually by James, I can see a potential counter gank if ever sabay nga sila makatapos ng red buff and blue buff just in case. So a ward has already been placed early on by Yux. Dito, Bubble.
Bubble gets the knock up there onto Noel, and even the relentless pursuit fadeaway shots there from Marky just putting the hurt onto Noel. Noel, even though he's chubby, he is very squishy.
Yep. Yes, he is. So I would like to point out a potential outplay from Chalk. I think Chalk naman is gonna use his ultimate strategically in terms of not parang letting Yux or Trevor land the first CC and not him. Kasi for sure lalangoy lang sa Sanguine Pool si Yume ulit. So most definitely you wanna bait out the Sanguine Pool first before actually putting on the CCs, because it's just gonna be Yume casually swimming away from all the danger and would waste your time and would waste your ultimate later on.
Now if you check it out, red buff being taken by Trevor. Now he goes in for the blue. But in the actually in the mid lane, Shock is, well, head-to-head in terms of CS against Yume, though Yume forcing him out a bit. But of course, the non-mana mechanic of this Vladimir, and a thought that came into my head as well is that will Zensho survive this one as a barrage of CCs just come out from the duo of Cerberus right there with the knock-up of that bubble as well as the cocoon. First blood gonna be given onto Trevor.
Yeah, and this is actually a classic. Remember how Vladimir was popular back then and how Varus was also popular at the same time? It was they mentioned na Varus was a counter to Vladimir because he has a built-in reduced healing effect on towards of Vladimir.
I think with the Blight?
Yep.
Was it? Yeah.
No, not the Blight. I think it was
The 3-stack with a W.
Yeah, the 3-stack with the W. It stacks with health, but then his hail of arrows also reduces healing effect.
Ah, yeah, right.
So that's the skill that actually counters that as well.
In the top lane, look at the smash from TG. Will he actually flash in and get the chomp onto Yux right there? That must be some kind of good wood, as he is gonna get a kill from that one.
Yep, yum.
Yeah, he's gonna be happy with that singular kill as well.
So right now, gaya ng sinabi natin, there is the teleport coming in from TG. Whoops!
And will it be?
Yeah, he just landed on his own tower for safety. But yeah, it didn't work. The gank didn't work out so well. Trevor's rotation was quite late already. Great play coming in from TG, knowing that his trundle pick actually does counter. Whoops!
Nice cosmic binding there. But Zensho actually needs it right off from that aqua prison at the very edge of it. Yume actually eats a arrow, but again, he does have heals to just keep him alive in that mid lane all day long. Also has a ghost as well as flash, just in case he does see Trevor gonna come in onto his mid lane, and here comes Trevor though. But in the top lane, James with TG going in. Nice arcane smash though from Yux. Gonna disengage the initiate from this duo bot in the top lane. slowing them both down, and he's just gonna walk away scot-free from that one. Yume here might get caught out. Yes, he does! Oh no! The damage from Trevor was just real, and not enough time to actually recall back to his base. Yume should have been much more not lax on that one.
Yeah, that's so problematic. I just realized how problematic it is.
Speaking of problematic, Trevor back at it again with the ganks, goes in, but flash from Zensho over him will actually keep him alive. Shadow gotta get a little bit chipped on there, but here comes the corrupted chains, and Noel is not gonna be long for this world. Hamas comes in for the side, goes in with the spear, not gonna connect, and where is Yume? Still in the mid lane, gonna go back onto his first turret, but that engage from Cerberus was something.
This is the problem I noticed for Mineski's comp, is that they're gonna lack CCs for James. And I mean, that's why you pick a Bard, because Bard would most likely want to roam with Noel. I mean, with James, land that Cosmic Binding and then follow it up with whoever you're with all the damage and then burst someone down. But the problem is, dito kila, what do you call this? No one kay Nidalee and then sa Bard pick is that you can't leave a Draven with a Nami.
Oh no, you left Draven yet again, and he's gonna go down. There's the ultimate, or actually there's just the heal, but not enough as the Ignite chips through that one. But in the top lane, Yux here, he has flash, he gets spotted out by Yume. There's a Hemo Plague burning down. Does even a tree have blood? And the answer to that is yes, as Yume sucks it right off of Yux right there. The top lane, he will go down for the second time, but in the bottom lane, Mineski looks to have some difficulty against Cerberus right here. Here comes Trevor. Oh no, he flashes in, goes in onto Yume. Nice ice pillar there though from TG, gonna keep him alive, flashes away there. And Trevor here actually might be in a very bad spot. James gonna provide some support, but not needed at all, as Mineski, with the aggression there, with the over-commitment of Trevor, he gets caught out, and that will be a 2-for-1. 2 for the top lane, 1 for the bottom lane.
Okay, going back to the bot lane earlier, where Zensho was eliminated by the bot lane duo of Marky and Shadow. Just when I mentioned that, you know, Noel can't leave the Draven at all with his Nami, ayun, namatay agad. Kakabalik pa lang ng lane ni Noel, and that's what happens when you leave a Draven. So, just what I've said, it would be best sana if kasama ni James mag-roam si Noel, and you can actually take advantage and slow down the spike of Chalk in the mid lane, and you can actually feed Yume with these kills, and you know, make him snowball, and so that he can make those roams or become relevant when the time comes, pag may team fight or may skirmishes somewhere around the map. But that's hindi nila kayang gawin yun kasi it's a Draven, and so it's just that yun nga, hindi na ma-maximize yung Bard if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, early, like post early game.
True, but then that actually asks the question now: is this Bard actually gonna roam, or will TG actually go in for a teleport play in the bottom lane, and then Bard sets it up with the Tempered Fate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really depends. Kasi right now, we discussed off air how TG wasn't able to actually be relevant because he built tank items first. Kasi nabubuli out siya ni Yux. So he chose survivability first compared to being relevant in team fight. So kulang yung damage kanina ng Mineski, but right now at least meron na siyang Tiamat on his hands, and actually built semi. I'm pretty sure he'd wanna finish his Tiamat onto Hydra first. So, well, let's see though.
TG gonna use the Ice Pillar to block the path of Yux right there, and he's just gonna be slapping onto this branch in the top lane, the tree in the top lane.
Yep.
There's the ping onto Trevor, spotting him out, but it's a 3-man gank here. Marky not gonna get caught out by the Cosmic Binding there though. Nice Tempered Fate, getting the catch onto Cerberus Shadow. He has his ultimate right there, and Hammer is taking a crap ton of damage here. Will he get caught out as Trevor from the sidelines? Zensho's not being long for this world. He goes down, teleport coming in from TG, but it's gonna be stopped as I think Yux actually slaps him away from that one. But oh no, Noel gets caught off. He's gonna be forced to flash away. but Mineski, too much force on that one. They did not spot Trevor out, and they get heavily punished for that. James being 1 kill, but flashes being expended by Noel, as well as the teleport from TG.
Great save coming in from Zensho to save the support, but then there's no consolation prize whatsoever. I mean, usually when you see someone take something away from the map, you'd want to trade it for something else. And looks like Mineski isn't able to respond properly. Because I remember the trend before when somebody was aiming for Dragon, some of you would actually go to Rift Herald and take something, parang take something less off from the map for your enemy to take. So, right now, no consolation prize. Steady lang yung Mineski. There's the roam that I'm talking about.
Evo Plague being used. There's a nice corrupted chain. It's gonna stop Yume in his tracks. And Shock uses a flash and a heal, but still walks away alive.
The roam was supposed to work with James though, so that hindi sila makukulangan ng damage at hindi makakataka si Shock despite using all his summoner spells at the same time. But then yeah, at least it nagagamit yung Bard sa pag-roam. It's just that hindi na ma-maximize normally with James para hindi sila makulangan ng damage because Vladimir is normally for the sustained team fights and not exactly the burst that we're looking for, just so that Chalk would be eliminated right away in the mid lane.
And if you check it out, his first item is actually a Zonius. Granted, of course, it's to counter out the AD damage coming out of Chalk, but in terms of how much AP he actually gets for his skills, it's not a lot.
Yeah. And sobrang bagal ng scaling if ever ito man yung kanyang first item. Very slow but safe.
Oh no, TG gets slowed in the top lane. There's the Cocoon, there's the Twisted Advance though, but he's pretty tanky himself. He has a Tiamat, he has a Merc Treads, and even that Spectre's Cowl. And look at this, Yux, run baby run. Almost even uses the Twisted Advance to go over the minion as James provides support in the top lane. But in the mid lane, there's a Tempered Fate being connected by Noel. Gonna miss the Cosmic Binding though, but it will not matter anymore as Yume gonna dive in. But Noel, very low in HP, actually heals himself back up to enough to survive from those turret hits. But in the bottom lane, Marky as well as Shadow have pushed out Zensho. Where is the love for Zensho? Where's the love? It's not gonna be there in the bottom lane for you, my man.
This just means that they're willing to sacrifice Zensho in exchange of Yume being comfortable in the mid lane and him getting kills. So this is what I've said, how important Yume is in Mineski's scope. Okay, hold on.
In the top lane, there's a Twisted Advance. There's still a flash for Yux. Gets slowed, but he flashes over at the perfect timing. Will the pounce? Oh, it's gonna be enough. James a bit too greedy right there. Will it get taken off? But Trevor, oh no, you actually go in onto Yume. Yume's gonna go in onto you, but no, he just walks away. And that will be the 1-for-1 trade. James, don't go there, my friend. It might be Trevor just lurking from the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike as that Spider Queen looks to get some kills in her own jungle. But alright, they're gonna be able to exit that jungle of Cerberus Esports without too many casualties. They do get the kill onto Yux, which is nice.
Man!
Yeah, he does get
You can tell where their priorities are right now. Their priorities are with TG. Because look at those damn wards from Mineski at the top side of the jungle of Cerberus Esports. It's like they were actually prepping for that gank. For that invade rather.
No
but
ultimate yet for Noel here to stop at least the members of Cerberus. They get the catch onto him with the Corrupted Chains. There's the knockup, and the culling will finalize the kill onto Noel.
Is the wave gonna finish?
Nice tidal wave there though. Will actually disengage the members of Mineski. Marky very low in HP. TG in the front lines, but James, oh no, here comes Yux. He doesn't see it from the sidelines, and he gets smashed to smithereens right there. And Cerberus gonna get themselves that mid-tier 1. They're gonna get to look for this mid-tier 2 as well. And Mineski are just too outnumbered. They have to respect the numbers advantage that Cerberus have right now, or TG will go down. There's the Cocoon, gonna be given onto Zensho, but he doesn't get caught. It's gonna be TG, the casualty here for the side of Mineski. And Cerberus gonna exit away with the mid-tier 2. No, they're pretty low in HP. They have to respect the damage of that turret. It has quite a bit, but here comes the wave, and that's not gonna be long for this world. They're gonna exit with, I believe, 2 kills and that 2 mid-tier turrets.
Man, like, look at that. Cerberus Esports with one full sweep. Shoo! And then they got, like, 2 turrets out of that. Just, it looks so effortless for them. And even though Mineski had, like, a good foothold with, you know, TG finally getting his stage back, and then Yume as well with a comfortable spot by James, relieving pressure, and then Noelle helping out, and you know, leaving Zensho in trouble or being pressured by the bot lane. Kumbaga, hahayaan lang natin sila. But then,
Trouble on the double. There's a Tempered Faith onto the bot tier 1. Gonna go in onto Marky, and Noelle with the meeps. Getting the last shot onto Marky right there. And that's the pickoff that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Mineski using that one.
yeah, they can potentially keep doing that naman just so that to slow the movements of Cerberus Esports. And sakto, 30 seconds in, the next dragon is gonna spawn. I believe it's gonna be another Ocean Dragon. Ocean Dragon din kanina, diba?
Yep.
I think. Yeah, so 2 Ocean Dragons. Kanina ang nakakuha nun ay Cerberus Esports. Compared to before, they don't want to lose Dragon Control. And they're just gonna most likely let TG there. TG, building probably a Frozen Heart.
Yeah, it would be the better choice
Yeah, since AD comp.
Yeah, exactly.
And he already has good wave clear with that Hydra in. I mean Tiamat in rather. So yeah. At this moment though, kulang yung wave clear ng Mineski again. Compared to the previous matchup. So they're gonna rely. TG can actually be some sort of split pusher if he wants to later on pag nakompleto na yung kanyang mga items, kasi he's just gonna casually put in an ice pillar and then walk away, and if he's getting quite low, he's just gonna subjugate and then get the ice ring in up.
Yume gets caught out. There's that just corruption of chains of CCs from the side of Cerberus, but he still survives with this. Zonius gets the bomb onto Yux right there, and Trevor being burned down by that Ignite coming out of Noelle. And Cerberus didn't know that that's the survivability of Vladimir. You gotta respect that one. And here they come, 5-man unit rushing in onto this mid-tier 1. They're gonna give it away. There's the culling being used by Marky, chipping away the HP of TG. They look to get this dragon for themselves. Teleport still not up for Yux though, but if Cerberus can actually delay this one, Yux will actually be enough. Oh my goodness, look at the damage from that piercing light. Here comes Marky with the use of that Yomu's Ghostblade. Help from the Ocean Drake though with the slow, but damn it, that piercing arrows from Chalk.
Yux has teleport. Yux can actually not make a play just yet. I actually thought it was 20 minutes in already. He's just chilling there kanina. Akala ko gagawa siya ng home guard play, but then again,
Can still actually use it for the numbers, you know, evening out against Mineski here.
yep. And there is a second dragon going to Cerberus
No
Esports.
Shadow Steal for you.
Yeah, no Shadow Steal. Only Shadow can do the Shadow Steal, of course. Anyway, Infernal Dragon coming right up. So that's really gonna boost up Cerberus Esports just in case they have more map control, objective control compared to Mineski. Kasi kanina pa, they have different priorities. Kasi kanina, nakita natin yung vision all on TG's area. They wanted to invade. They've managed to execute that beautifully naman kanina, but it did not really transition well in terms of, you know, pag meron ng team fight, pag meron ng skirmishes, it's just a disaster. But then, if you think about it, Cerberus Esports did make a mistake earlier in the mid lane where they were quite confident in making a pick in the mid lane just so that they can transition into getting the dragon afterwards. But the problem is that mawawalan sila ng sa poke. Even though they have sustain, it's really not working well for them.
Oh no, TG gets spotted right there. He does have a flash to go over the wall. Nicely timed right there. Gonna be able to dodge the damage from these 3 members of Cerberus as well as dodge out that Aqua Prison. But this top lane looks to be the next target here for Cerberus as they set up. They get spotted out by a couple of wards. And will Mineski actually answer the call of Cerberus? They have to.
Man.
But they're not confident enough to actually do it. So.
Yeah, great collapse there by Cerberus Esports, and they have their priorities straight as of this point because it's the only first tier turret left, outer tier turret left rather, and Yume is just gonna catch up. Let's see what kind of playstyle they're gonna do. It's heavily composed of poke.
Oh no, there's a CC connecting onto James. Samurai Blade actually gets the catch onto Marky. And will Mineski actually get this opening for themselves? Though Yume in the sidelines gonna go in, uses the Hemo play, goes in like a madman, and they just catch the members of Cerberus a little bit off guard there. Yux still in the front line though, flashes away, but Yume gets catched by Marky, and look at the positioning from this ADC god. Marky is just going ham onto the members of Mineski, and that is a 2-0. Cerberus look to be very low, but they still survive with slivers of HP, and Mineski, they tried to force something out of that one. Looked like it might have been possible, but Cerberus disengaging at the right possible moment.
Man, Cerberus Esports' team fighting is just looking really slick and godly right now. And Mineski is having a hard time. I actually think they could have made something happen there. It's just that they have trouble in terms of prioritizing targets. It's like everybody has different targets, and that's why they're not able to make a kill. And the execution of, holding on to that tidal wave, great tidal wave from Shadow, despite hindi na maximize ni Chok yung kanyang corrupted chains, 'di ba kanina, in terms of, nag-initiate kasi biglang dumating si Yume. I thought Mineski was able to get like a kill or two there, because a lot of them are pretty low, but then the tidal wave just did it, and the positioning of Marky and then Chok was just really amazing to watch for Cerberus Esports.
Plus, you have to wonder, how can Mineski actually put the damage onto Cerberus? I mean, their damage dealer is Yume, James, and Zensho. Yeah, James can, connect a spear, but then he has to follow up with his Cougar form. If he goes in, there's an abundance of CC waiting for him, and Zensho, well, he's not a Caitlyn, so his range is very low, meaning that he has to be upfront and, just go in with the spinning axes, but it's not happening for him because, again, the amount of CC that Cerberus has is making, Mineski a bit jumpy. They have to rely on these combo pickoffs that, well, look to be great. They chip down Cerberus to very low HP, but the problem is the execution is not there for Mineski.
Yeah, it's basically like there's no threat to the backline of Cerberus Esports in terms of, looking at Mineski's comp.
We'll get the Tempered Fate on the Chalk right there, but here's the Tsunami that you were talking about. TG gets it, just eats up all of that call, and even with the Hemo Plague, the pop is not enough. That's still a 4v5 here in favor, numbers advantage in favor of Cerberus, and this bot tier 2 gonna go down, and Cerberus looks to go in very strong into this one. 36,000 to the 43,000 of Mineski. And this bot tier 3, next target for the side of Cerberus. They don't have a lot of ultimates. Actually, they don't have any ultimates there left for the side of Mineski that can actually do anything against Cerberus right now. And Cerberus gonna be happy with that one, getting every single objective here in the base of Mineski.
Yeah.
Even the dragon is next. That's gonna be the infernal, more damage for the side of Cerberus.
Yeah.
They don't even need damage anymore.
Yeah, more painful pokes from Cerberus. And if you look how defensive Cerberus is, you see that Hex Tech naman. I know. What do you call this? The Hex Drinker, not Hex Tech. The Hex Drinker. Most likely maka-counter yung Hemo Plague na gustong gawin, ma-achieve ni Yume in getting this Vladimir pick. I really don't like Yume on a Vladimir. I really think it's such a waste putting Vladimir on putting Yume on a Vladimir. So
Vladimir on a Yume.
Vladimir on a Yume. So it's just that may problem na nga sa team dynamics, and then you put something that's not really reliable in terms of dealing DPS, like really painful DPS onto the enemy side. That's why good bans coming in from Cerberus. But then,
And here they force onto Yux right there. He's pretty tanky. He has a Spirit Visage as well as that Sunfire Cape with the Slicing Maelstrom, or the Vengeful Maelstrom rather. And he's gonna be walking away from that scot-free. Here's the Infernal Dragon. James, he looks for it. He looks to hunt for it. There's a two-man Tempered Fate though coming in from Noel. Connects with the Cosmic Binding, and this might be the catch that Mineski are looking for. Those Cerberus are just trying to execute or walk away from this one. Nice Ice Pillar though from Noel, or rather from TG, but they flash over it and actually becomes a boundary for the side of Mineski. Now Mineski look to get for their first dragon of the game, but Cerberus pick up their own composure and looks to re-engage onto Mineski right here. Here is the fight for the dragon. They go in onto TG with a twisted advance from Yux. Yux gets spotted out or stopped by that Ice Pillar. And this Infernal is still going in onto the members of Mineski. They're getting chipped down little by little.
Oh, they get
and
it.
James does get that one. Forces the flash out of Yume there as Trevor with a nicely timed cocoon almost gets the catch onto the mid lane
20 minutes.
of Mineski here.
It's gonna
They
run.
look to go in, and Yux actually recalls back, or rather recalls back to base and teleports, but doesn't get the catch. Home guard will not be a factor here for the catch of Cerberus onto Mineski, but Mineski there, the Tempered Fate that they were looking for, that was one of them.
Yeah, good consolation. Actually, that's a good objective denial coming in from Mineski. I mean, if ever nakuha ng Cerberus Esports yung Infernal Dragon, it's just gonna be more difficult to deal with. Lalo na, they are behind in this game in terms of, damage, team fighting, and objective training as well. So they really juggled it well. Noel did, as I said, did a good job with his Tempered Fate. Those are the Tempered Fates that we're looking for. So as Mineski's comp would actually work here, so that napilitan tuloy yung Cerberus Esports mag-back out, and the only way for them to actually disengage is the tidal wave, is the tsunami. It did not work out well for them. A lot of them are really, really low. So right now, Cerberus is eyeing on a different objective in the map right now. The juicy target, which is the Baron.
Check out the itemizations here for the side of Cerberus. It is the dual Yambu's Ghostblade from Chalk as well as Marky. You may hear might get caught out. There's a twist advance. He actually Sanguine's pull but gets caught out. There's
Wow,
a Corrupted
it's
Chains.
quite late.
Zonias. There's a Tempered Fate. Not going to connect actually onto Yume right now. The pop from the Vengeful Maelstrom will be enough. There's the Hemo Plague. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Teleport coming in from TG. And will they try to go in for the re-engage? Shock is there. Nice Tsunami coming out of Shadow. 4v1 situation. Where are the members of Mineski right now? Zensho looks for a target. And he needs to reposition himself. Marky actually gets caught out. But look at that, the culling just comes out. Oh, he actually goes in onto the magical journey. And the journey is real for TG right here. He survives. What a nice thought there. Marky actually goes in. Cosmic Binding stops him in his tracks. But Cerberus Esports looking to get the better of that one. Even if it is 1-for-1, Yume did go down. One of the damage dealers for the side of Mineski.
Yeah, can you imagine if the Infernal Dragon actually went to Cerberus Esports? I feel like
It might have been more
they might have
damage.
gotten 2 more kills out of that team fight. But right now, sobrang pressured ngayon ng Mineski because the minion waves are slowly creeping into their base. And can you imagine all first outer tier damn turrets are still up for Cerberus Esports? So it's so difficult for Mineski to keep juggling the map pressure all over the lanes. Kasi sila talaga lugi. The only towers left for them is the inhibitor turrets. And this is why it's so difficult for them to actually make plays. It's more like them reacting to what Cerberus does. And parang waiting for them to make a mistake or an awkward call or an over-aggressive move or overstaying their welcome. That's what Mineski is aiming to get right now. And, try to pressure them around objectives. But first, before they do that, they must, and I say they must, manage the waves properly, or else if naubos sila and namala sila na yung minion waves are knocking on the inhibitor turrets already, that might be the game already for Cerberus Esports. And that's them out of MPGL.
True, this is the last chance for Mineski. Come back into this one. Did they spot? Oh yeah, they spot out Cerberus actually hiding in that brush. Though they do have to respect Cerberus, because even if Cerberus are just waiting for Mineski here, they do have that threat of actually getting the Baron by themselves. The waves gonna be pushing in Cerberus' favor in a couple of minutes, and Mineski have to clear those one out. Looks like they're gonna get this mid lane
Whoop.
going for themselves. James there gets caught up by the corrupted chains, and he's not gonna be long for this world. Gets popped immediately right off the bat, and that's gonna be the 4-for-5 trade in favor of Cerberus Esports. They start off the Baron, but they have to be aware of that Tempered Fate, where it's gonna come out from Noel here. The perfect timing is what Mineski are looking for. There's the Tsunami splitting Mineski. 3-man Tempered Fate coming in from Noel, and will the Hemo Plague actually follow through from Yume right there? He connects it onto some of the members of Cerberus right now, but Zensho is the damage dealer that we have to look for.
Damn.
But look at this, Cerberus are just stomping onto the members of Mineski here. There's the magical journey. Will they take it, or will they just go in onto this Baron yet again? They do have the ebb and flow for Shadowed for sustainability. But Mineski, they still are gonna try to bug at Cerberus Esports, even if Cerberus are the ones with an Elise. They go in, Zensho gets caught out. There's a connection of
Whoa.
CCs. He gets popped immediately, and that is 2 members of Mineski down and about. But now, look at that, the Baron is actually helping Mineski here. Noel with the shot there, gonna get the execution onto Yux. And Mineski actually stopped the take onto this Baron, but at what cost? There's the secondary corrupted chains. He gets popped immediately right off the bat. And execution-wise, demolition-wise, they are just dominating Mineski one by one. This clash is not looking well for Cerberus at all.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was a pretty...
Or sorry, for Mineski
For
at all.
Mineski. It was actually Mineski losing that one. The exchange of kills here and there. Re-engage, disengage, then re-engage, using the Baron as pressure for Mineski to force something. Force a fight that they don't want to take part of. It's another Ocean Drake. It's another Ocean Drake. I don't like this Ocean Drake. I mean, it's always action all over the
Last
place.
week,
And
it was Earth Elementals. What's
yeah,
the trend?
that's definitely more important at this point of the game, because most likely Ocean Drake is more of like I guess it is somewhat useful kasi Mineski and Cerberus Esports likes to go back, go in, go back again. Okay, hold it,
Oh no, James, why did you do that? You're not a shadow. You're gonna get taken down immediately. I don't think he should have done that one, because that's gonna be a 1-man down for the side of Mineski here, and they're gonna follow through onto the Baron right now. Cerberus looking dead into that juicy void creature, and that will be their next
that.
target.
Look at the beautiful region as they're walking towards the Baron pit. I guess that's the useful thing about it, because they like going into these fights and then not going home, and so that they rotate to another map preparing for a fight. I guess that's the power of the Ocean Drake. That's their
Tempered
second
Fate
Ocean
has
Drake.
already been used. There's the Hemo Plague actually connecting onto Chalk right there. He's taking quite a bit of damage right now. The Baron is still alive, and he gets caught by Trevor, but look at this. They are wiping the members of Cerberus one by one. Flashes over the wall, uses that one. Marky actually using that Yomu's Ghost Blade for some extra movement speed, and Yuk's gonna be dropping down a sapling. I don't think that that Ice Pillar was in help for TG. Yes, it blocks away the path of Marky, but it blocks his own path as well.
I don't think it's much of a loss. Kasi if you look at it, yun nga, yung towers is still there. So even though they do get kills, it's some sort of like a consolation prize. They might be able to clear this out. They might be able to tower dive this one. It's only Yux there to protect that top lane turret. And he does have the Baron empowered minions to try to delay this some more. But then again, if this trend continues, I think this sort of mistake from Cerberus Esports is still parang okay pa.
Oh wow, the damage from Marky.
Exactly. The gold lead is still on their hands naman. It's a 4K gold lead for Cerberus Esports. They can't afford to make this kind of mistake. But if it continues, it might fall onto Mineski's hands. One small slip, dito na tayo magkakaalaman na it's like a clutch game na where the winner is the victor is not clear. Para naman sa game kasi kanina, it was like very very clear sa atin na panalo yung Cerberus Esports. Meanwhile, if Cerberus keeps this up, kanina hands down Cerberus panalo. Pero yung mga ganun na calls, yung mga ganun na mistakes, it's very worrisome. And if nagpatuloy pa yung ganitong call na risky na they concentrated too much on the Baron, of course, low na kasi yung Baron. They don't wanna steal kasi potentially baka sila pa yung mabaliktad. But since they concentrated too much on their damage, they did not collapse onto the members of Mineski. Sila yung nakolapsan. They got the Baron. Yeah, that's cool. Pero yun nga, naubos nga sila. So if that happens again somewhere in the map where they have like the siege advantage, it might be problematic for Cerberus and maybe risk of going to game 3.
Yeah,
If
and
ever lang naman.
this is where the Vladimir actually starts to get scary. He's 3 items in, one of them being the Void Staff, gonna be able to pierce through the magic resistance that Cerberus have built up for themselves though.
No Solari, so that's actually something unusual against the Vladimir, because most likely I want...
Oh wait, they're forcing the fight. Tempered Fate does not connect onto Marky though, but look at the free hit coming out of Zensho. This spinning axing Draven is just putting the hurt onto the members of Cerberus. He looks to execute. He's the executioner, but the corrupted chains from Chalk just stopping them in their tracks. There's James coming in from the sidelines, getting the execute onto Marky right there, and Cerberus have lost one of their damage dealers. They spot out Chalk. He actually gets a 4-man piercing arrows right there, but he gets splashed in by the members of Mineski. Oh no, he's gonna like say, what am I doing with my life? He's actually still surviving. Look at you see the backline just going in. Trevor gonna actually sidestep onto that spear, but wow, Yux is still alive right now. He is high on HP. Shadow, nope. But wow, Mineski actually getting that one for themselves. I want to see a replay of that one.
Yeah, most definitely. I want to see a replay of that too. So right now, we're gonna start with the fight that started all itong part na ito.
Alright, so let's check that replay, guys. There you go.
So right now, as you can see,
Look at Marky.
even though the Tempered Fate did not work, Marky is forced to actually move forward and compromise his position for a short while. I really think a Solari would work well with a Hemo play,
Wow!
just in case.
That was a spear connecting onto him.
Yeah, and it's the burst coming in. They're all quite low mobility champions dito, and the reason why they lost this is because nawawala na sila ng visa because of the sustained team fight that Mineski has. So they're pretty much running out of time here in terms of, you know, late game power and sustained. Kasi you're definitely gonna get out sustained here, and one tidal wave, one tsunami is not enough to actually make TG and Yume not chase for you. So yeah, and this awesome replay is brought to you by ViewSonic. So let's get back into the game right now.
Yes. And with that, Cerberus have to respect Mineski right now because Rabadon's death cap chugged out by Yume. He's 4 items in, almost to his final one. I would believe that is the Leander's Torment. So these high HP champions for the side of Cerberus are gonna get chipped down.
Yeah.
Dragon, I think this is gonna be the Elder right now. So this is gonna be a very big objective for both teams. They don't want Cerberus to get that one because, you know, the damage output as well as sustainability from Cerberus might just get out of control, as the Elder Dragon does permit you to have extra bonuses from your already gained bonuses from the the lesser dragons.
And can you imagine though, that's an Infernal Dragon plus an Elder Dragon onto Mineski if ever they do get this out. So I get this for themselves. So it's gonna be a definite contest dito. Contestion pala between these two teams here in the Dragon Pit after a while. But then, you know, they're still managing the waves right now. It has been spawned, and it's definitely a tanky dragon. So let's see who has more dragon control dito.
Aldo win. Oh man, you don't wanna anger the Ender of Worlds, man.
Yeah.
And the win.
Yeah. Most likely they want to buy some elixirs first before actually getting onto the fight dito.
Yeah,
Slowly closing in at late game right now. So
top lane though, TG is split pushing right now. Can Yux actually handle him? He does have about the same itemizations as TG right there.
Trevor in the top lane. You're sacrificing dragon control.
And TG immediately
gonna
riding
move
that off. Oh, if they spar out Marky, they actually can start it off. The bottom lane here. Looks gonna try to stop Yume right there, but of course the lack of information does not tell Mineski to go immediately for that dragon. Though they do clear out all of the vision here that Cerberus have spotted, have placed down, and we'll have to see what transpires in the next couple of seconds as both teams are itching to get this major objective. It's gonna be something big for these two teams as they look to get momentum of this game. In the early to mid, it was actually Cerberus that put that one fight in top lane, just allowing Mineski to come back somewhat. TG gets spotted out there, takes quite a bit of damage from Marky, but still, they are just testing each other out, looking for an opening, not allowing for their team to actually engage upon them. Tempered Fate is a very crucial ultimate here for Mineski though.
Yeah, I want to point out, good call for Cerberus Esports to actually put a ZZ Rod portal.
There's the ultimate, not gonna actually connect onto anyone. Ice Pillar gonna be trying to catch onto Chalk right there, but the Tsunami just disengages perfectly for the side of Cerberus. Mineski, are they gonna force the Baron here? Tempered Fate has been used already, so that's one pick-off tool that they don't have in their arsenal.
Yeah, Cerberus Esports can just keep doing this because slowly but surely that top lane is going to slow push because of that ZZ Rod portal inserted at the top side of the map. So as you can see, the minion wave is slowly piling up. Mineski might be forced to lose a tower, probably an inhibitor later on if they keep dancing dito. What do you call this? No Tempered Fate right now, no Tidal Wave as well. So let's see what kind of call
This
does Mineski
dragon.
will do. It's super tanky, right?
Yes.
So the good thing is, meron ng Solari yung Nami. So when Hemoplague comes in, it's gonna work well. You time
Down
the
to
shield well.
4,000.
Up.
They go in. There's the culling being eaten by TG. Corrupted Chains are connecting onto him, but he does have a Guardian Angel for himself. Yume was actually disabled for a couple of seconds, and the Dragon has joined the fight. He's going in onto Cerberus. You're trying to fight on me? I'm gonna put the fight on you. And they have to disengage onto that one as that dragon is actually regenerating. But in the top lane, it is the minion wave. Chalk flashes over the Tempered Fate, and Smart TG not going to be long for this world. There's the Guardian Angels being popped by him, but look at this, Mineski coming in from the back line. They have opened up, and these are just the juicy targets of Cerberus going down one by one. Look at this, Yux as well as Trevor gonna run away for their lives. There's a spear, not gonna connect though, but the top lane is still knocking onto the door from Mineski. They have to get more kills right here, as well as the Elder Dragon, or this top lane will be a not worth it trade for the side of Mineski. Yux is so tanky right now that he even get the kill onto James. He has a flash. Yes, he will. Survives over the wall, and that dragon even pushes him away from the loving hands of Mineski, and they are pinging this top lane. That is a crap ton of minions, and Trevor gets the kill onto Mineski.
Wow.
This is a total sheer and utter catastrophic disaster for Mineski. They look to actually win that fight, but they did not actually contain or stop these minions just pouring over in the top lane. Marky going in on the TG.
Holy.
TG having to respect that flash is over, but here comes Yux. Yume gonna try to at least get the kill onto Marky. There's the wave, but Yux at least gonna help his teammate out to get that kill. But still, this top lane has been opened by Cerberus with this banner of command by Trevor. It was a worth it investment, and Cerberus are reaping the benefits right now. Look at that. They didn't even have to do anything. Just, psych out Mineski. Hey, we're going to take Elder Dragon while your top lane gets pushed by a souped up minion.
Oh no, they're ignoring the minions actually here in the mid
no.
lane.
Can you see that? That's NACL right there. Salt coming outside of Mineski, and they are just going to get popped out one by one. Guardian Angel from Hama is not going to be out for long, and he is just going to be embraced by 3 members of Cerberus. He goes down. Noel as well as TG. Only the members remaining for the side of Mineski. Even has that magical journey over the wall, or over the turret right there. and Yux is tanking this tower all day long, and Cerberus is just running rampant inside the base of Mineski right here. That bot tier 3 is the next turret to go down, and that inhibitor will be the last one here for the side of Cerberus. Trevor was actually tanking that for the whole duration. Does not care about anything. There's the Hemo Plague being used by Yume. Nice use of the Corrupted Chains as well as that Cocoon right there. And Yume going in, he is just losing his mind right now. And he will actually still has his Zonya. TG gonna get to execute there on the chalk.
Wow,
Yume still surviving. This is a Vladimir right here this is the rework for the Vladimir, just working wonders for Mineski, but not enough because Cerberus have broken the base. Look at that, 2 inhibitors down as well as that bottom tier 3 looking for the next inhibitor, and the Elder Dragon is in the next site here for the side of Cerberus.
I just gotta say, I just have to commend Cerberus Esports' display of micro plus macro at the same time. Macro play at the same time. I mean, they told Marky to back out because, they're gonna lose the fight anyway, so might as well make a play around the map, and it worked out really well. So let's see who's gonna get this Elder Dragon for themselves. That's denying the Infernal, and yes, that's denying the Infernal empowered Infernal buff away from Mineski. And right now, it's just the inhibitors that is left at this point. 2 are down, 1 more in the bot lane. Right now, it's Baron Pit.
A Hail Mary pass Baron by Mineski. Do Cerberus Esports spot it out, but I think they know right now that Mineski are forcing this one. This Baron is very low in HP. They have to go in. It's all for broke for Mineski here. They take out this Baron. There goes Yux. Goes in. Gets the root onto James right there. He's forced to use his own Zonias right there. But they get the immediate pop onto Yume. James not going to be long for this roll. There's the immediate shot. He's going to be able to dash over the wall, but Cerberus Yux follows through. And that's only TG left. Running back. He does have a Baron buff. But will it be enough? 5 members of Cerberus are here. They have themselves the Infernal. They have themselves full control of the base of Mineski. And 4 members of Mineski are actually dead, and their respawn times are pretty damn long. Here comes Cerberus going in onto the Nexus turrets. They are just hammering onto it right now, and 1 more Nexus turret left for Mineski to actually get picked off from this playoffs of the MPGL8 League of Legends. 1 more Nexus turret, and the Nexus is in the sights of Cerberus right here. There's the Cocoon connecting onto TG. Noel is still left right here. Will you use your ultimate? No, not anymore. As ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be Cerberus Esports 2-0 against Smart Mineski in this best of 3. What a game coming outside from our 3-headed